Click over here. Good morning, everybody. It's still pretty, it's 8 a.m. over here. So I just woke up. I'm very tired, but basically, I wanted to show you something um, that kind of is in line with what we've been looking at the past couple market updates. Also, I'm going to start making the market updates public because I realized this type of video is kind of like similar to what Benjamin Cohen does in like the style, or it's just a chart and him talking. And his channel does pretty well. So I'm just going to start making these videos public, but in the Discord, I'm just going to link them every time so that you have access to them. But so we rejected off 70. This is kind of what I was expecting, is that we would reject off 70. Um, Again, I said if we broke through 70, we'd see a huge pump. That's like really the last resistance level we have on the RSI. But we rejected off. So I kind of wanted to look back at the history, and this is really just what technical analysis is just looking through history, finding patterns, and then just using those patterns to kind of give you a hypothesis or kind of understand what's possible and how this has acted before. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to act the same way, but I wanted to find the last time that the RSI broke out from a downward trend and then rejected off of 70 very quickly after. So what I found, I believe, was back here in 2019. Yeah, let's see. So back here like May, June 2019. So again, and I didn't even, this is one that I haven't looked at in a while, but you see Bitcoin on the RSI making higher lows, or sorry, lower highs. And then once it breaks out, again, if you would have bought here June 13th on 2019, when it broke out of this trend, it would have been a decent day to buy, right? Like if you bought right here, what happens right after? So that's why I like this little pattern is when Bitcoin's RSI breaks out of this, you have a pretty large pump. But the reason I wanted to highlight this instance is because after it broke out, you can see a few days later, like 4 or 5 days later, it rejected off 70. So what happened in this instance is we had a small pullback and we broke through. So, and if you would have, if you would have bought on this day, you can see it was the one red day. I use black candles for red days, but it's pretty much the one red day you had. So it doesn't mean that's what's gonna happen this time. It's just showing us that it's possible to reject off of 70, pull back, and then break through. Let's see if we can find. Let's see, it kind of did the trend right here a little bit. Let's see, and then again, if you would have bought, it would have even been a little bit. Yeah, we had this little run up, but here we didn't reject off 70. We kind of just went over and under a little bit and then continued up. But let's look for a couple more of these patterns real quick. Let's see, the RSI needs to. There we go. There we go. Let's see if we can find a couple more of these throughout. Okay, there's a good one right there. So let's take our trend line. So it's making lower highs. And then it's not perfect. Let's see. I'd say it probably doesn't. And that lines up with the top a lot better. This isn't the best example. I would say it broke out right here. So if you bought, let's see, June 28th, June 29th. Yeah, it would have been a good time to buy, um, especially before this run up. But here again, we rejected off of 70. We pulled back. So if you would have bought right here, the day that we rejected off of 70, it was the one red day we had again. And then we broke through. And we didn't go too fast or too high past 70 on the RSI, but it correlated with, let's see, 7,300 to 8,400. So a decent percentage move. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but the point is, let's see, we have another one right here. Let's change this color real quick. So right here, it broke out back in February 2018. I haven't put this line on. This was an old line back before I changed the colors of my charts. But let's see. Yeah, if you would have buy here, February 7th, February 8th, it wouldn't have been a bad time to buy. So this is a trend I really like. Like if you keep going back through history, it works very well with Bitcoin. But let's go back to today. So again, back in July, the end of July is when we finally broke this trend, the previous trend. And when we did, that was around, when Bitcoin was around 32, 33K. So a great buy signal again. And then I noticed as soon as we topped out on the RSI, which we topped out at around 74.85, you can see over here. Then we formed the same trend, just started making lower highs and kept rejecting. So we've used this as resistance 1. I don't know if you want to count these. I'll count it as 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not perfect, but definitely making this trend. And then once we broke it, we see our 4,000 or 5,000 move in a couple days. And now we rejected off of 70. My guess would be we're going to test the top of this line as support. So, we're going to fall a little bit more today. I would assume maybe 52, 50, maybe 52. And once we hit this line, we're going to go back up to test this again. If we break through it, that's when we go up to 58, 60, 64. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'd be surprised if it fell back through this line, to be honest. If it fell back under this trend. I highly doubt that will happen. But what my assumption would be is that we're going to bounce off this line, come back up, test. If we get rejected again, continue to channel between these two lines until one of these breaks. But if we break, there we go. Yeah, let me know what you guys are seeing on your technicals. Let me know what you guys think about this trend. Again, I know I've talked about it for a couple days now, but it is just very consistent. If you go back through history, it works over and over. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. All right, thanks, guys.